What is easier to do? Get off of heroin and stay off of it? Or lose weight on a diet and keep it off? That's the question on today's Your Doctor's Orders. You know, there's a common saying that it is a lot easier to get off of heroin and keep off than it is to lose weight on a diet and keep it off. Where did those things come from? In the 1950s, there was a study done in New York where they took 100 people and found that after a while, 95 of them had regained the weight they had lost. Well, that was the 1950s, and all they did was give them a diet, send them on their way, and follow them up. And their conclusion was people just don't stay on diets. That's kind of equivalent to today. If you just buy a book or buy a diet book or go to a diet program or get a CD, not much difference. Your chance of getting that weight off and keeping it off, less than 5%. But today we have all sorts of new things. We have exercise, psychological counseling. We know about the microbiome. We know about evolutionary biology. So what do those new things tell us? Is it still the same? Let's go through the list. The microbiome. You've all heard about the guts. Maybe it's our bacteria that make us fat. It's not what we eat, it's our bacteria. And you know the bacteria of your gut change depending upon what you feed it. Well, sadly, your bacteria in your gut are going to eat your Burger King as well as they're going to eat your vegetables. It doesn't matter what. If you overeat, it doesn't change it. What about psychological counseling? Since the 50s, we have advances in behavioral and psychological techniques and even something called intuitive eating. It's all been checked. In fact, since the 1970s, we've known psychological counseling just doesn't help with weight loss. What about exercise? You see these things about exercise. You get exercise, you get buffed up. This time of year, there are gym memberships for sale for like $10 a month. It's got to be good. But did you see the recent study out of Arizona State University where they put women on an exercise program and found that at the end of that 3 months, they were fitter, but some of them were fatter. Now, there were some who lost weight after the first month, but most of them didn't. And the conclusion was, if you don't lose weight after a month of exercise, look at what you're eating. Well, what about what we know about evolutionary biology? I mean, what are we meant to eat? Are we meant to eat vegetables? Are we meant to eat meat? Are we meant to eat grains? What is it? Well, that's a logical fallacy called a biotruth. When you follow that out to its conclusion, human beings weren't meant to have needles. Human beings weren't meant to fly on airplanes, have computers, have YouTube. None of that, but we do. That's a logical fallacy. So when we conclude it and we look at all of the studies with all of the diets and all of the pills that we have today, the conclusion is still the same. Sadly, it's very hard to just diet and keep the weight off. You have to change lifestyle. You have to change the way you eat, the way you approach food. The best place to start is your kitchen. So, to sum it all up, yes, it is easier to kick heroin than to lose weight and keep it off. For Your Doctor's Orders, I'm Dr. Terry Simpson. Watch those holiday pounds. Good day.